Tonight, from Buffalo Bills Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, it's a special Halloween night presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Rodgers and the Buffalo Bills taking on Justin Fields and the Miami Dolphins.
We are just about 4 miles off the shore of Lake Erie at Bills Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete there to Johnson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Still 9 remaining on second down. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Big hold to the 30. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. 7 yards to pick up there. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Play action. It's Fields. This is caught, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3-and-out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3-and-out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now it's Rodgers. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
A nice run there by Sanders on first down as he'll wind up with a gain of about 7 before he's brought down. The numbers for Sanders last week, 21 carries, 108 for the yardage and the score, too.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that's complete to Sanders. Sanders has it poked free. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through balls.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was. Down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. A 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
From the 35 on second down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Trey Hendrickson showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Off play action, Fields. Man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. Here's Fields. And trying to get it to Ruggs, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice, because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Bills. Van Jefferson, his second touchdown on the season, and the Bills have taken the lead. Now comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear... teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them, a big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Eric Stokes in on the tackle. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On second down, here's Rodgers. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Well, Sanders has it poked free, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. And CD, that's the second time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, it doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game, so you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 49 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it, when you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Right back to him on 1st down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, They had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Back to Mixon on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins winning that one. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Buffalo. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Eluding the pressure right. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And now off to the races, down the right side, past the 20. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So now here come the Dolphins.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Fields. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From the 44, Fields. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap. Fields. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins are once again going to retake the lead. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the third quarter. So they potentially could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. In the early window on Sunday, one of the best happens up in Pittsburgh. A big one for the Steelers, as they'll take on the visiting Baltimore Ravens. The late afternoon games hold some intrigue as well. A good one being up at MetLife Stadium, where it'll be the Jets taking on the Tennessee Titans. And lastly, we'll be tuned in on Sunday night for what should be an entertaining one between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it's safe to say he has been getting his money's worth in this one.
I would agree with that totally. Being able to go back and launch it and air it out. And let's face it, it's not just him stepping back and flinging it, though. You've got to have someone who can go get it. And that's important for any offense. Someone who can stretch the field, or as they like to say, take the top off of a zone defense. Open things up, because then you can come back and throw underneath and gain some pretty good chunks of yardage as well.
He's ripped the top off of whatever defense they've been playing. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were? And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Now we have Kelsey slow to get back to his feet. Appears to be shaken up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hands it off out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And that's complete. Albert Okuebuna. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll give it to Mixon. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. On play action, Fields sliding out of the pocket. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal. Mixon. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. On now the Miami field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good. And they will open their lead up to a touchdown at 24-17. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Rodgers now to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Throw right side into the hands of the tight end Long. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Here's Rodgers. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this blitz coming, and down he goes. James Lynch able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. To throw is Fields. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Well, that's down a 4th down after the incompletion. It'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
On 1st down, Fields. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Mixon. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. From the gun to give to Mixon. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. A play fake, now Fields to throw. He'll buy some time right. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he will find Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Ian Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the... gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Rodgers' throw pulled in by Jefferson.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
And they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Rodgers to throw once more. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Tucker to add. PAT. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken in at the 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 2 touchdowns. A little over a minute and a half remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. That's going to be caught by Tony. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6.
Rodgers again now.
And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. On first down, Mixon. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Had a nice move but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Mixon with it. And down inside the 15 he goes. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Miami, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.